There we go. Hello. So this worked. I'm excited. I've done a live directly through YouTube before. I've always done it through streaming software. So it should be interesting to see how this works. When I look at myself, I am like every third, I'm losing my brain. It's like I'm only seeing every third frame, like it's jumpy, almost like oh crap, all of my words are gone. Stop motion. It's like it looks like a bad stop motion movie. So let me know if you're getting stop motion as well, or if that's just me, because like I said, I haven't done this directly through YouTube before. So this is an experiment, and for once, the mess behind me is actually purposeful. So we're going to go through that. And there's Monica. Monica's been here since before me. Hi, Monica. Hello, Monique. If you guys can tell me if I'm like my video is very jerky or if it's smooth, I would really appreciate it, because I'm all stressed about it now. So this month we're going to do Finish It February. All right, so this should be really fun. What I need to do is finish some of the like million projects I have floating around my house. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one who has, okay, it is choppy. You know what? Let me close out a bunch of other stuff and see if that helps. Okay. I know that with the live stream software that I used before, if I had too many things opened, it was not the happiest thing in the world. So I'm going to try closing out some stuff and seeing if that helps. No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to, come on, close. Let's see, we're going to close that. And are we getting smoother? I think we're getting smoother. Let me see, was there anything behind here? No, there was nothing behind here. So at this point, I think the only thing I have open now is YouTube. And it seems a little smoother. So any other choppiness may simply be weather. You know, it is North Jersey. And bad weather can mess with everything, including the streaming. So we'll see. Monica says she has lots of whips to finish, just finished 3 whips and is on a roll. Go, Monica. All right, yeah, so we are doing Finish It February. And I am going to do my best, guys, to get up a blog post on jessieathome.com this week, by the end of the week. I know it's Wednesday already. I'm going to do my best to get that up by the end of the week. And I will add like all of, as I find my works in progresses that I need to finish, I'll like take a quick photo and put it in there, and it'll be my little accountability thing of what I've done. So I have a bunch of stuff that I've just collected so far that I'm going to show you. Most of it is crochet, some is knit, some is other stuff. So let's see down here. And the first thing, guys, that I'm doing, and I would be more than happy to take suggestions, but the first thing I'm doing to help myself finish, like find my works in progress and finish my works in progress, is each one is getting its own bag or container or whatever, so that it doesn't just get mixed in with other things, and so that when I need to do work on it, I can actually find everything, right? If it doesn't have a hook or needle or whatever with it, I'm going to make sure to have written a note or something, so that I know what I was using, so that I don't get lost when I try to finish it. So this basket is some finished books, lots of unfinished books, and even the finished books need to still be listed on Etsy. So this basket is my books that I need to finish and then list on Etsy. So that's my first thing. All right. And Monique is proud of Monica, as we should be. All right. So now I'm going to grab some of these bags that I can toss things into as I go, but I don't even think I brought enough bags. So I don't know if y'all, this hat was from March of last year. Okay. And I loved it. I love the hat. I love the little design, and I've been making more with my own fabric yarn that I've been making. So let me grab that. So I already have a bag of fabric yarn that I've been making from fabric that I have floating around, right? And I've made a couple hats already, and you can see here's one in progress right here. So for Finish It February, what I want to do, and I'm actually for this one, and I should find it and put it in here. I'm, instead of starching the brim, I'm using brim lock, which is hat wire. It's not wire. It's a plastic wire. So I'm using that on the edge of the brim to keep the brim out. And I want to get it posted. Oh, look, there's my hook. I want to post these on Ravelry, on Etsy. So I have 2 or 3. I think I have 3 done already. I want to finish this one and then get them all posted onto Etsy. And then that way, and I think I can even, who knows, we'll see if I can get them. I might start posting some products, some physical products on Jessie at Home, but it's hard to double list. You can't really double list physical products, because if somebody buys it, it only takes off one listing, not the other one, unless I know there's an app for that, but I'll have to. Anyway, for now, they're just going to go on Etsy, the physical products. So I need to get this one finished and then get the at that point 4 of them listed on Etsy. This one I'm keeping, but I'm putting it back in here so that it is neat and organized here. All right, so there is that one. See, both of those actually have a container now. Okay, so what is this? It was totally me. I know both of you think it was you who are chatting over here. It was me. It was 100% me. And I'm not sure if this started a separate something or not. Oh, wait, I see at least one of you found me again here. So I'm sure it'll start, the numbers will start going up. There we go. All right, so we're just going to keep on going. I really think that the internet here is being buggy. Again, you know, lots of snow outside and all of that. Hopefully there will be some, I might have to have a little chat with my internet provider, because I've never had a problem like this before. And that is annoying. So this little bag is actually just the, this was my winter project, my Christmas project. I made a whole bunch of scrubbies for, you know, washing your dishes and stuff. So dish scrubbies. So this is the bag for all of the dish scrubby stuff. So I think for now, what I'm going to do with this one is this is going to kind of get like put in on a shelf, because it's an ongoing, like I want to just to increase my stash of made scrubbies for myself and for gifts and everything. But for now, it's not so much a work in progress that has a real end. The real end will be when I run out of the yarn, but right now it doesn't have a need, since we are over with the holiday season when I was giving them away. So I'm just going to put this one probably to the side and not necessarily consider it a work in progress. So we're going to toss that over there. And then let's see, I'm going to use one of these bags here, and we're going to put together my Moogly Cal into a blanket. It's something I've been thinking about doing, because for several years I was using the same yarn for my Moogly Cal squares. Okay, so there's some of them, and here's some of them. So I'm going to, like this one I never finished making 3 of, but most of them I have 3. See, I have 3 of this, and they used these 3 different colors, and I just changed the way they were being put together. So somewhere, I swear I have one more set. So that's one set of 3, which is 3 squares. Here's a second set of 3, which makes 6 squares. This will be a third set of 3, which will make 9 squares. And I really feel like there is another set of 3 somewhere. What I'll have to do is I'll go and I'll look on my I'll look on my patterns and see if I'm missing one or if there really were only 3 years of this set of colors. But this is all made with these 3 skeins of Caron Pound of Love, or Caron 1 pound, whatever. So what I'm going to do is put those 3 very messy now balls of, or skeins of, the Caron 1 pound yarn in this bag. And I'm going to put in these 3 sets of 3-ish of each of these in here. And now this is a work in progress, because what I'm going to do is I have to make the other 1.5 of this square so that I have 3 of each of them. And I'll check my patterns to see if I have one more square that's in this set of colors. If not, there'll be 9 squares. And if there is, then there'll be 12 squares. I'll just have to find the other set. And then I'm going to use the rest of the yarn and turn it into a blanket. And I'll do some sort of like, I'll do a blog post, a pattern online for that. And it'll be something where, like, you know, normally when you buy the pattern for each square, each individual pattern, if you're buying the PDF, the patterns are free online. But if you buy the PDF for the patterns, they're $4.99. So what I'll probably do is I'll turn these all into a blanket, and then you can buy the individual PDF of the squares. But if you want to just get the whole blanket pattern, it will include the squares, so you'll save a little bit of money. How will I join them? It's going to depend on how many I have. I'm gonna have to figure that out when I like lay it out, because if there's 9, I'll have to decide, do I want a square blanket? Because 9 would make a square blanket if I just join them 3 by 3 straight, like directly together. But if there is really only 9 and I decide I want a rectangular blanket, then I might do like a stripe. So 3 blocks, a solid stripe, 3 blocks, a stripe, 3 blocks, so that I can make it into a rectangle instead of a square. I know a square is technically a rectangle, but I think you know what I mean. So I'll have to decide that. And then once I decide that, that will give me how I'm going to connect the squares. But I know that a post on various ways to join squares has been requested, and I will do that too. All right, so there's that work in progress. And then this skirt, I have worn several times already. I actually wore it to Vogue Knitting Live on Sunday. I had no plans to go to Vogue Knitting Live on Sunday, but Mary Beth Temple texted me and asked me if I wanted to go with her and Katie, her daughter, on Sunday. So I did, because then I also wanted to chat with Austin from Knit the Rainbow, and there were some other people there that I was like, oh, well, it would be nice to see people. So I ended up going to Vogue Knitting Live on Sunday. Mary Beth just like drove over to the house, and Mary Beth drove over here. I ran in, jumped in the car, and then we drove over to her daughter's house, her daughter's apartment, which is like 10 minutes for me. And Katie jumped in, and then Mary Beth drove us into Manhattan, because she'll drive in Manhattan. I won't, but she will. And so, and we spent the day at Vogue Knitting Live, and then she drove us all home. So anyway, this skirt, which I love, there's a couple whip things about it. First of all, I need to frog the bottom stripe, because it grew on the bias even more than I was thinking it would. Plus, from when I started making it to when I finished making it, I lost weight. So I need to tighten the elastic, and I need to take off 1 or 2 of the stripe sections, so that it doesn't drag on the floor when I walk. And then the other really important thing I need to do is get the pattern published so you all can make it, because while I have it written down, I never actually published the pattern. So I need to publish the pattern for you guys, right? So, because every time I go out and wear it, people are like, oh my gosh, that's such a cute skirt. And I've never published the pattern. All right, so this one, I don't know that it's necessarily going to get a bag. I'm going to find a place to, like, I actually have a little shelf over here where I'll probably put all of my whips, and this will just go on the shelf by itself because it's one thing that doesn't need to be bagged with things together. And Fire Lake Creations, that's Sarah. She says hello. All right, so now here we go. Here's another bag. This one has several whips inside of it. So this one, rainbowy one, actually does have a box right here. So I'm going to take the couple of things that aren't part of this whip out of the box. Here we go. And put the rest of it in. So this work in progress, this whip is actually Pride bunting for Knit the Rainbow, for putting on their like whenever they're at trade shows or Pride Fest or whatever, having the fun little bunting where they can take as much as they can fit in their luggage, or they can take all of it if it's someplace that they're driving to, you know, whatever, however that works. The idea was if we did a bunch of bunting, then the fact that every time you go somewhere, you have a different amount of stuff you can take based on, are you flying? Do you have one bag? Do you have two bags? All of that sort of stuff. So bunting was a really good kind of decor thing for booths and spaces, because you can just take as much as you can fit. So I have to finish the couple more of these. And with this also goes, I have to contact the various yarn companies that wanted to be part of the community project, because we're actually going to do the community project probably at the, we're going to at least get it really going at the Fiber and Fabric Craft Festival that's going to be in Chicago, I want to say May 1st through 3rd. So the first few days of May in Chicago at the Rosemont Convention Center is the Fiber and Fabric Craft Festival. It's by Cologne Massa, which is the same company that runs H&H. So Cologne Massa America, USA. They're the same company that puts on H&H, which is the big trade show for the yarn and fiber industries. So they're now having a consumer show. That means someplace you guys can go, May 1st through 3rd in the Rosemont Convention Center in Chicago. And we're going to do the community project there. I have 4 booth spaces there that I am running for the company. The first one is the Knit the Rainbow booth, and then the rest of them goes into the Stitching Help Lounge. So any knit, crochet, yarn themed questions you have, you can come in. We're going to have various experts that you can meet your favorite designers and talk to them about, you know, if you have a Tunisian question, you can look on the schedule and see when an expert who specializes in Tunisian will be there. And if you have a knit cables pattern, again, check the schedule, see if there's somebody who says one of their specialties is knit cables, and you can make sure to show up when they're there. It'll be super fun, and I will have free tickets for all of you. Okay, all of the code. And all of the other experts will also have codes. So any of the experts who are working in the Stitching Help Lounge will have codes, so will be able to get into the show for free. And that way, when you're there, you can, instead of using your money to get in the door, you can use your money to buy yarn and new gadgets, and, you know, a really comfy chair, or maybe one of those really awesome, like, organizing cabinets or whatever floats your boat. So anyway, while we're there, we'll be working on, in the Stitching Help Lounge, one of the things that you can do also, if you want, is help out with, we're making some really nice bunting where, like, I'm going to have patterns in knit and crochet for each of the various pride flags, and we'll get yarn from some of the yarn companies who have expressed interest in donating yarn for the project. And so you can just come in, and make some flags, and then we'll turn it all into bunting. So after that is over, what I'll probably do is that's when I'll reach out for people who weren't able to come to the show to see who would like to do some of the flags that we still have left. So if you can make it to the show, you can participate in the community project. And if you can't make it to the show, then after the show, we will put out a call if you're on, I'll put it out probably in my newsletter, and then it'll probably also go out to the people who have signed up to volunteer for Knit the Rainbow, in case any of those people as well happen to not be on my newsletter and want to participate in finishing up the community project. So this is where I'm going to put all of those bits and pieces as I find them. Because this one is just, this yarn is actually dyed in colors of pride flags, and which is really great, but I can't get all of it. It's not the same as making a, you know, a nice rectangular, this is the flag, you know, so it's two different things. So this one I'm doing myself because we just got one skein of each, and that's, you know, I've already given some to Knit the Rainbow, and I'll finish these up and give them the rest of them, and that way they have stuff until the community project is done. When the community project is done, then they'll just have more, right? So there is that. And then what I have in here, I have two projects in here, so I'm going to move one over to here. I am working on a set of patterns with yarn from Hirschner's. The yarn is Willow Yarns Fashion Cotton, which I really like. And it is a, do they call it a 2 or a 1? I don't think they actually, oh, they call it a 3, which would be DK. They call it a DK. I feel like it's more of a sport. But anyway, I am using that to make a collection of, here, I'll show you all the colors, to make a collection of, a spa set collection of patterns. So here are my colors, and there's a yellow right here too. This is the yellow. I just don't see a skein of it right here. So here are the various colors, and I'll show you what I have so far. And I know we've talked about this project before, so you've given me suggestions of other things to make. So far I have the back scrubby back washer, you know, so you can kind of one hand on each and put it behind your head, your back, and scrubby, like, you know, I usually go like down like that and scrubby, wash your back. And then I have these little, you know, if you're washing your face, scrubbies. So little face washing scrubbies. And then I'm working on some washcloths. Now this is a pattern I already have published from years ago, different yarn, but I'm using that pattern because it's the pattern that inspired the whole set, because I really love this stitch pattern that I came up with. It is, in knit, there's a stitch pattern called the broken rib stitch that I really love. And I was like, I bet I can do that in crochet. I can find a way to like imitate that stitch pattern in crochet. So I figured out a way to imitate the stitch pattern in crochet, and I really, really like it. And it's awesome for, it's the texture on it. Like here's the right side and here is the wrong side. But they're both very nice and textured, so it's great for scrubby things. So these are the washcloths. I see there's still more. Let me see if there's any other. Sport is 2 and DK is 3. That is correct. Oh, and Sarah let you know you were correct. Awesome sauce. All right. So I am working on, this is actually my little head, you know, when you take your shower and your hair is drying, you put this on here, and then you twist to the end. Woo, twisty, twisty, twisty. Obviously, I didn't catch my hair in it, really. I usually turn my head upside down to catch it. And then you pull the elastic onto the button, and it holds your hair up as it's drying and everything. So I wanted to make one of those. So I'm using this for a general idea of size and shape. And I have started that here. So that is another one of the patterns. Then I have bath poofs, the little poofs, right? Look, here's my hook. So I made this one, and I was very happy with the denseness of it and the stitch pattern and everything about it, but it feels a little big, especially I'm like, when this gets wet, it's going to be huge. So I adjusted it and made a smaller one. So I'll probably, when I publish the pattern, I will do both, you know, I'll give both sizes. This one still needs the one end woven in. I'll publish both sizes. I'll get a whole bunch of really nice shots once this one is woven in, I'll get some nice shots of it like this, and then what I'll do is I will get them wet and see what happens when they get wet, and get some photos of them. You know, this is what happens when they're wet, so you can see how much they grow. And then I'll probably run them through the washer and dryer and be like, okay, and after you wash them, this is what they're like. But I need to get photos at each stage, though, just so that I can make sure that I'm, you know, practicing transparency with all of you. I think that's everything I have made so far with these. There are still a few other things I'm going to make in that section, and there's more of the yarn is right there behind me, so I do need to fill that up with the rest of the yarn so that everything is in one place. Oh, and this goes to there too. And then this is something I definitely need to finish for my son. I wanted to have it finished for the fall. I didn't have it finished for the fall, and so then I think it just got ignored because it wasn't done yet. And it is a, oh, I see, it was on, I'm at the end of a row, so there's only one loop, and I should have stuck a, whatchamacallit on it. I need to put a, you know, one of these things, a stitch marker on it so that it doesn't unwind, it doesn't frog itself. It does not self-frog. I do not want self-frogging happening. So let me catch all of this so it doesn't self-frog. Okay, so this is going to be a poncho, okay, from a t-shirt. So this is going to be a poncho, and this side does not have the edging, or does it? Yeah, I thought I had done, oh, this is the side I'm working on. Okay, so you can see this is how wide each stripe is going to be. Okay, so I have one on the front too. I must have the back one done as well. I do. Okay, so here you can see this is how wide the stripe will be, and that last stripe I did in a different stitch pattern. It's Tunisian, but I did it in a different stitch pattern that doesn't roll, right? It kind of folded right there, but when I give this a steam, it will lay nice and flat. You can see that it doesn't roll. It folded once where I changed the stitch pattern. Once I block it, that will unfold, and then it'll lay nice and flat, and you'll see it like this. Okay, so that width and everything, this stripe is what's happening now over here. So I'll get that one done over on this side. You can see I'm about like here-ish right now. Yeah, I'm on this stripe right here, is where I am over on this side. So I'll finish it up on this side. So we'll get the full stripe, and then I'll do the full stripe on this side. And that will be it. I don't know if you can see this because the color matches really well. Yeah, okay, so you can see what I did is I just did a whip stitch where I just kept going through in the same direction. I actually marked my fabric every 1/4 inch, I believe. And I just like laid out a ruler and put a little mark at every 1/4 inch. And then I just stitched through, always going in the same direction. So always going like from the inside to the outside. And that is what I attach my first row of crochet to. So if you look over here, you can kind of see the first row of crochet is attached to that whip stitch. You can see it better actually on the inside here. So I need to finish this for Vero. There we go. And all of the yarn and the Tunisian hook are already in this bag. So that is that work in progress. All right, and then I also found, all right, this is an old pattern of mine that I liked but needed some TLC. What have I, this was for the bottom. What? Okay, do not want to eat the yarn. Okay, I think this was with, this was the one that started the whole cabled hooded cabled poncho thing, the like Red Riding Hood poncho thing that I have. this was where it all started. It was one of those things where you make one thing and it just keeps growing into more and more. So there we go. There's this, but that's what I started with, and I decided it needed some TLC, the pattern. So this is the rewrite of the pattern, and it starts off with just the hood, right? And I did it in 3 colors, but then when I was done with the 3 colors, I did some surface crochet at the change of the colors just to give it a fun little design, right? And if I remember correctly on this one, yeah, I did some alterations to the pattern, and I feel like I also may have done, did I change direction? No, I didn't. I wasn't sure if I changed direction. I did something to help with the fact that it felt like it was drifting to one side or the other. I just don't remember what I did, but I did write it down as I went. So here is that, and then I started making a knit version because I had a request for a knit version. So here is the knit version of it. Again, I've kind of written down the pattern, but I haven't finished it. So that is on my list of things to do. I'm thinking this must be the bottom. It's been years ago I started this, and this must be the hood, because the hood end has a nice border on it. Obviously this has not been blocked. So that is what's going on there, and I have to go back into the shelf where I found all of this to grab all the extra yarn, so that I can put it all together into one. I'm calling those both one work in progress, because I'll release the update of the crochet pattern at the same time as I release the knit version of the pattern. And then this is a hat that I made. I'm going to donate it to Knit the Rainbow. But the pattern is a pattern that will be free and available on Knit the Rainbow as well. I made it with the yarn company had donated yarn to make hats, to make things for Knit the Rainbow. So it's just 2 skeins. This is one skein, and then these stripes and the tie strings are another. And so it's a tube, right? But it's got the 4 little drawstrings, and you pull them together to whatever sort of amount you want and tie them together at the top to make this like scrunchy hat. That's really fun. You can decide if you want the pulls exactly at the center, the like here, and here, if you want them off-centered, however you want them. I had these stars that I got, these like they're like the jump rings, but they're in the Progress Pride colors. So I keep turning things the wrong way because of the mirror image thing. So it's really hard to do with the mirror image thing. I'm better off like doing it with my eyes closed, really. All right, there. That's, I think, how I wanted it. But you can see that you can adjust the way it gathers because you tie the bow yourself. And of course, if you have more yarn, you can make it even longer so it gets even more slouchy. But it was just fun. So I need to take the Jessie scrawl notes and turn them into an actual written pattern, and get the pattern to Knit the Rainbow to put on their site as one of their free patterns. And then I'll donate this hat. I took some pictures with Vero. I'll probably do a new set of photos with him. We'll see, but I need to actually like get this pattern published. So is that it? Yes, that is it. That of what I found for whips, but it is not really it for whips. That's it for what I found for whips, with like at 11:30 this morning as I was running around going, "Ooh, crap, I meant to grab these." So I know there are more. I'm going to keep track of all of them. Monique says you love the look of the cables, but you're very intimidated to try. And Sarah said that the hooded cabled cape pattern is well written and easy to follow. Thank you, Sarah. And yes, they use the same, the cable in the hooded cabled cape pattern is the same as the cable in the hat. I mean, in the hood, in the just the hood. So I will either find a way to link to say, okay, you know, starting at this timestamp is where each of these, you know, each row of this cable, you find the directions for row 1 of this cable at this timestamp, blah, blah, blah. Or I'll make another tutorial. What I might do is do a live stream making, I'll make like another version of that hat. I'll make a second sample and do it in a live stream. That's something I wanted to try out, is making the samples in live streams. And then when with the replay, I can just mark in the replay timestamps for, you know, places that people are going to want to jump directly to if they're using it as a tutorial. So yeah, so I'm going to be doing more live streams. And because I finish it February, I'm going to try to do quite a few more live streams. I'm thinking right now, what I might just do is Monday, Wednesday, Friday throughout the rest of February at noon. So there's the noon Wednesdays already, noon Eastern Wednesdays already for the lunch with Jessie. But then I think I will also do Monday and Friday at noon for the rest of February, so that we can keep in touch. You guys can let me know what you're working on. And, you know, it might, some of the live streams might just be me working on things and we can chat away. You know, I love obviously we have the chat section in here. And, you know, as I'm working, you know, maybe we'll be like, oh, let's do a giveaway. And, you know, anybody who's participating in the chat, you can, you know, get a free pattern or something. You know, if I feel like I have some shipping money, I might find something that I, you know, I'm like, oh, look, I have like 5 skeins of this thing and no intention of, I don't know what I'm going to do with it right now because I have so much yarn. So here, who wants 5 skeins of this? You know, we'll see. But I definitely also have lots of digital, you know, patterns and stuff like that. So that's always a good giveaway. And Monique, my Monique, we need to remember to figure out what you want to, not Monique, sorry, Monica won a pattern of your choice and hasn't let me know which one it is yet. So we'll have to chat about that, Monica. I just realized that I haven't sent you that pattern of your choice yet because I haven't gotten your choice yet. So we'll have to figure that out. So in addition to being able to chat during the live streams, of course, we also have the sit and stitches that are by Zoom. So every Wednesday, you can come to almost every Wednesday, the first 4 Wednesdays of the month, we have our sit and stitches. Oh, Monica's still trying to make up her mind. Monique, I'm sorry, Monique. Your names are so close. I gave the wrong name at first, and Monique was all excited. I'm such a booger. Yeah, Monica. But Monica knew she won something. She's still trying to make up her mind. That was during it wasn't during the book thing, because the book thing was, the book review was, the author was there and gave away a copy of her book. I think it was a week after we interviewed Ashley from the Tunisian sweaters book. So our sit and stitch today is from 7 to 9. The time changes every first Wednesday is at one time, second Wednesday is at a different time, third Wednesday, fourth Wednesday. So if you go to jessieathome.com and you look at the main navigation menu, which if you're on mobile, you can find it under the hamburger menu, which are those 3 lines. Click on that, and the very last thing on that menu will say events. If you click on that, it'll pull up the calendar, and on the calendar, it will you'll be able to look at whatever Wednesday and see when the sit and stitch, live sit and stitch on Zoom will be. All times there are Eastern. If you click on it, you'll find the link where you can register. Registration is not saying I will definitely be there. It's just saying, hey, can you make sure to send me the link and the reminder and stuff? I don't ever check to see how many people registered or who registered or whatever. I put it there because it makes it really easy and convenient for you, because when you register for one, you can then put it on your own calendar. Like I said, they'll send you a reminder and everything. And I don't keep the emails or anything once the thing is over, and they don't need them for the reminders anymore. They're dumped. So it's Zoom. I think we all know that, Zoom has not done anything hinky to us. So I feel pretty safe using them. So yeah, so there's that, and that is awesome. So, and when you're there, if you don't want to sign up for any reason, when you go to the calendar and you open it up, you have to scroll down. You have to click on the event, and it'll bring up the information about the sit and stitch. And if you scroll down a little bit, I think it says like location or something, and it has the actual link to just go directly to the meeting. Obviously, that link isn't going to do much good for you until the meeting has started. Until the sit and stitch has started. But if you just want to do it that way, you can. If you want to be able to put it on your calendar and get the link ahead of time and all of that fun stuff, then you can go ahead and register. You can register at any time because that's just prepping. But if you want to go directly to the sit and stitch, it's already started, you just want to pop on in, just scroll down a bit. All right. So that is, I would love to see you guys coming to the sit and stitches in February and showing me your works in progress, and we can all encourage each other and celebrate each other as we finish our works in progress. We will not be disappointed at the end of the month with ourselves or each other if we didn't finish all of our works in progress. We will be excited about the amount that we have done, because progress is progress, right? And it'll just be a really fun way to kind of do some spring cleaning prep, right? Getting your works in progress done is really awesome. Spring cleaning prep. I mean, I feel like I've done something really wonderful here already, in that I just ran around and collected a whole bunch of works in progress that I had floating all over the place. And now each one has its own container. And then I have a section that I cleared off on one of my shelves where I'm going to put each of those little bags and stuff on that shelf. So I'll have a whole little shelf area of my works in progress. And even that is now I don't feel like, oh, this project is never going to get done because I'm not going to realize where it is, or it's going to get separated from its hook or its yarn or it's this or it's that. And then it'll just be like trash because I don't even know what it was or any of that sort of stuff. So even just this organizing it that I've done so far really makes me feel good. But now I feel like I feel more able to finish some of these whips. So, whatever we can do, and we can, give you guys advice on, we can all kind of, if somebody's like, I have all of this stuff and I don't know how to handle it. And so, maybe we can all brainstorm together. Right? Many hands make light work, and many minds make light work as well. So it's like, if we all think, maybe we'll come up with an idea of, what you can do, like just organizing them into their own individual space so that you actually can make a list. And that's what I'm going to do next is, I'll put up that blog post and just do a little here's the various things that I'm going to finish. And so then I have that for my own records, and it's fun for you guys to follow along, so that I can just kind of check them off as they're done or whatever. And that way I work really well when I know what I need to get done. Just being I know I have a million whips floating around this place somewhere can sometimes stress me out. But if I have a list of them and I can finish one and check it off, and then finish another one and check it off, it's I can handle that. So you get to know yourself, and you know what works for you. And for me, that's what works for me. I finally learned to embrace that I like having things, and I like paper. So while I will have, lists and organization and everything on my computer, and, I have Airtable, which is Excel on steroids. It's awesome. and I can keep track of like this pattern. Here's this pattern. Here's the links to all the various places that you can find this pattern, and here's the link to the folder that I have where I have all the photos and all of the all of the information, the digital information for it, the photos, the patterns, everything. Here's the link to that folder, and then here's the various descriptions I use in my socials, and it's all there on that one Airtable thing. But when I'm actually doing things with it, I have a written down checklist where it's just like a little grid. I have this something like this, okay. So it's something like this, where it's like, here are the various things I need to do. I think we have I need to make sure I have the printables. I've put down all of the links on that form online. I've shared it on Tailwind and on Social Bee. I've made this is not necessarily in the order I would do it in. I've made the images, whatever, for pins. I've made the videos for whatever I need the videos for. I've done all of those things. And so it's like, these are all the things I need to get done. And or over here, these are all the things I need to get done. And then these are the names of the patterns. So when I do it, I check it off, and it's just like, okay, cool. There's all the patterns I want to do. I want to do this socials for. Here are the socials I need to do. I check them off as I go. And it's just like, this makes me feel calm and happy. But then it's also all on the computer. Everything's being saved on the computer, but the checklist is on here. Monica asked if anyone else is getting commercials. Monica, yes, this is because I pre-scheduled it. It is pre-monetized, so you will get a commercial now and then. I chose moderate amount of commercials, so if it seems like a lot more than a moderate amount, please let me know. I don't know. I don't know if I can switch it to a low amount while I'm doing the live stream and then turn it up to more for the replay. I'm not really sure how it works. Monica, Sarah says she doesn't have any ads yet. Monica, you've been here longer than Sarah, so it's probably tossing them in based on how long you've been here. It might be what it's doing. Yes, so Monica, that is, it's how I get paid. So and everything is, of course, you can rewatch things, and so when it's live, I don't know, when it's live, I'm not sure how it handles that, if it just like, if you missed the section where the commercial was, and then, but like when it's on the replay, when there's a commercial, obviously it pauses the replay, you get the commercial, and then it picks back up wherever it stopped. So if you did miss a section, just like if you had to, run to the restroom or grab yourself a drink, then you can always watch the replay and catch the bit that you missed. Monique said she had a few before the live and a few during. Yeah, because Monique, you've been here for a while as well. So, all right, we are getting, it is 12:50 already. On some of the other live streams that I'm doing, I'll always make sure that on the Wednesdays we do all of the regular kind of Wednesday thing. Some of the Wednesdays might not all be necessarily the finish it February for the first hour. Like the first half an hour to 45, the first half an hour, 45 minutes might have some other theme of like some sort of tutorial or something. But some of the other ones, they might go longer or shorter. We'll just see what's going on. And like I said, sometimes it might just be me working on something. I have another camera set up right here that will do my hands. I'm working on figuring out how everything works. Because I have multiple screens, I realized what I can do. I just need to make sure. My internet was being funky today, which is not a common thing for me. So hopefully next time that won't be a problem. But what I had done was I had set up the camera on another screen, and you can share your screen. So I'll try that on Friday. I'll have the view from this camera set up on one of my other screens, and whenever I want to do an over my hands view to show you what I'm doing, I will switch over to the share screen so you can see the screen that has the other camera, right? So for next week, I'll probably have or for Friday, I'm going to try to get the cameras, everything set up a little bit more in a way where I can really show what I'm doing, both like this way and over my hands. So let's see. Sarah is not going to be able to come tonight. She has a class. Ooh, fun. Hopefully it's fun. I don't know. I'm not sure if you mean like a fun class, like yarny class, or like some, worky class, which sometimes those are fun too. So, all right. We are going to get going, and I will see some of you, I hope, not Sarah, but hopefully more of you. I will see. Oh, definitely, Yarny, some flower motifs. Cool. Awesome, Sarah. That sounds like fun. Definitely then next week on our Zoom, we would love to see what you've made with those. And that would be an awesome finish at February, is to take those flower motifs and do something with them, right? Even if it's just like putting them on a scarf or a sweater, we can help you figure that out too if you need some brainstorming. We like brainstorming. So tonight from 7 to 9 is our live stream, our Zoom Sit and Stitch. Again, if you go to jessieathome.com, and in the navigation menu, which if you're on mobile can be found with the three lines, the hamburger menu, click on that. The very last thing on the navigation menu says events, and under events you can find the calendar that has everything on it. I'll get the additional live streams we're doing on there, but you can go to that calendar to get the link to tonight's Sit and Stitch from 7 to 9. It is currently 1 or 12:54, essentially 1 p.m. Eastern time. So 6 hours from now is when the Zoom Sit and Stitch starts, and I hope to see a whole lot of you there. I am very excited about Finish It February and about playing with using the live streams directly through YouTube. Everything before now I've done through a streaming service, and now I'm learning all of the ins and outs of going directly through YouTube, which is going to be fun. Monica has babysitting tonight, so she might will be babysitting tonight. She might miss it. Who knows? Sometimes she pops in anyway, but whatever. Well, if you're not there, then I won't get worried if you're not there. I will still miss you if you're not there, which is not me trying to guilt you. But I won't be worried if you're not there, because now I know. Thank you. All right, guys, you are awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully I will see a bunch of you tonight at 6 hours from now at 7 p.m. Eastern. And hopefully I will see more and more of you on these live streams. And, as always, you can email me at Jessie, Jessie, at jessieathome.com. And, let me know if you have any requests, suggestions, anything like that. I always love to make sure that you are getting the items you want, because what is the point of me making things, creating this stuff for you if it's not actually for you? So I will see you all around. Have a wonderful day. Stay warm if you're in one of these freezing cold places. And don't forget to drink lots of water. All right. Bye-bye.